Hi guys, I've been getting a lot of questions about if you can still plant a garden, and you still have plenty of time. Most people haven't even experienced, like we haven't even had our last frost warning yet, so there's plenty of time. So my name is Farmer Sarah, and we have started a lot in our garden or our greenhouse so far. I can't really see much of it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 128 celled seed trays started, and then we have a bunch of bigger stuff started too. So I made a list that then got wet in the rain, so we'll see if I can even still read any of this out here. So first of all, if this is your first time starting a garden, you'll probably need to check your soil, get good soil, figure out your frost dates for your area, get some seeds, things like that. There are a lot of places that'll let you know good seeds, like websites, blog posts about what is good to grow in your area. I'm just going to go over some stuff that's really good to get started now. It's almost April, so it's the end of March, and a lot of our stuff is getting ready to go out, like our hardier brassicas and such, so which I've already started, but there's stuff that you can still start too. So, but also make sure you don't start anything that you don't actually plan on eating. Like if you don't like arugula is a green that's really good to start because it's really quick. It only takes 30 days, I think, but I don't like it. So we don't really grow it anymore because I think it tastes gross. So something to take into consideration. Just because it's a suggestion, if you don't like it, don't bother planting it because you won't eat it. So first of all, quick things that you can grow are greens. Like I said, arugula is a good quick green. I really am having trouble reading this. Wow. So arugula or rocket is really peppery. That's one of the reasons I don't really like it. Lettuce, we've started quite a few lettuces. I started them in our small 6-packs, or I started them in small seed trays, so they have a very small amount of area that they can grow in. I did that because I was planning on transplanting them. If you wanted to, you could probably just plant them in like a larger pot. I think this is like a 5x5 maybe, and you could plant them in there, and they could probably plant one plant in there, and you could probably harvest off of it. So lettuces, using them as a leaf or a loose leaf versus a head lettuce, you'll get a quicker yield. So if you're just tearing off leaves, if you're just tearing off a leaf or two instead of trying to cut the whole thing at once, the plant will last longer and you can get a harvest sooner. I like cut and come again for most stuff. Kale is another one you can plant right now. It's pretty quick to a baby kale leaf, but again, if you don't like kale, you're not going to like it. I personally love kale. If you want it to be a larger leaf, I would say maybe 60 days or so. Spinach, we struggle with planting spinach. That's why we plant like Swiss chard a lot of time, which is also called perpetual spinach. That's here. So that's another one where you can just clip off a leaf and come back later and you'll get more. But if you can grow spinach likes it cold. These things are they're all okay with the cold weather, and pretty quick. Mustards. This is a purple mustard. It is doing exceptionally well. We started in 6-packs, or I keep calling them 6-packs, in our seed trays, and it quickly took over, so we had to transplant it out. Mizuna is another one. It is my favorite, kind of a mustard green. It's not as sharp as most mustards. It's really delightful. We eat it fresh or like in like you can stir fry it up. Bok choy is another one. I don't have any bok choy planted. I didn't realize I didn't have any bok choy seeds, so I just got some. It's like an Asian green that has kind of it's stockier, not really like celery, but it's a leafy green with like a heartier base to it, which is really delicious. Other things you can plant now are like some roots, if you need something with a little more substance over the just the greens. Roots you can grow now are radishes, beets, and my beloved turnips. Those will do really well outside. Beets should be okay, as should radishes, and they take maybe a month. If you're not a big fan of radishes, just like raw, you can always pickle them or roast them. Same with beets and turnips. I don't know if many people eat beets raw. I feel like that would be kind of crunchy. Our turnips we loved raw. We loved grating them into salads. We loved roasting them. We just did a big ferment of them, which I'm really excited about. And with the radishes, beets, and turnips, you can use all their greens, so you kind of get a double harvest off of them. If you're careful, you could do a cut and come again, where you just take off the outer leaves and make sure you leave the center stalk to keep growing. If you want even more like actual vegetables, peas are a great thing to start now in most places. You can start those outside, and they should be theoretically fairly safe. They're pretty hardy, hence why they're called snow peas. Mammoth melting snow, I think, is one of our favorites. Ours are just starting to come up outside, which is really exciting. Other things you can start now, beans aren't quite as tolerant. Oh, the peas should take 60 to 70 days. And what's great about a pea plant is you can harvest from them again and again. So it's not just like a one-time harvest like other things, like if you're taking out a turnip or a radish or something, the plant dies. But it's a great come again kind of. Anyway, so beans, I don't know if they are 100% cold hardy yet. Chris is using a chainsaw. So I'm not sure if you'd want to plant beans outside yet, but you could start them indoors and then transplant them, or just move them out soon after. But they're pretty quick. They take a month or two, I would say. Another one is that you would want to start inside is a zucchini. Zucchinis grow really fast, and if you've ever grown zucchinis or known any gardeners, you've probably gotten zucchinis from them. They're very prolific. So if you're harvesting them when they're very small, you'll get them quicker, but you may not get as many pounds of yield off of each plant. But you can get them quicker because they only take about 60 days. Cucumbers are also very prolific and will start to produce fairly quickly, about 55 days. That's another one that you would want to keep inside, not take out to the last frost. Oh, and I forgot to talk about things like sprouting broccoli. Sprouting broccoli is really quick, or broccoli rabe or that sort of stuff. They're really quick. They can take up to, or be done in, or be ready for like after 45 days. And with those, if you're careful, you can cut the top crown, and then it should crown out, or you should have the florets around the sides, which you can also cut. So it becomes, again, another cut and come again. So those are just a few that I could think of, things to start. I would also say fava beans. These guys can all go outside. I just don't have anywhere safe from our chickens currently in my garden. But if I could, they would all go outside. Other things you can start now are some herbs. We have some parsley going. We've got some onions going. You could use those as like a green onion also. Yeah, and if you were wanting to start getting ready for summer, you could plant some other things too. Tomatoes. It's getting a little late for things like tomatoes and peppers, but you can still do it, depending on where you live. I would plant those inside though, for sure. You can also get starts. If you don't feel comfortable starting from seeds, nurseries, garden centers are starting to have all their starts available. Root stuff like the radishes, turnips, beets, I would say direct sow versus starting in a little pot and then transplanting. We struggled a little bit with our beets last year, so we're trying an experiment where we have planted a bunch in the seed tray to see if they are more successful. But yeah, so those are just some ideas. I hope you guys get planting. I think gardening is a lot easier than it seems. Mistakes happen. You will learn every year. I learn every year, and I've been doing this a long time. Also, depending on your location, it will be different. So we used to grow 45 minutes from here, and we had a garden, and it's 100% different here. So, I mean, not 100%, but it's quite different. So anyway, I hope this inspires you to plant something. I think planting is easy. I think you can do it, and I believe in you. And I hope that with everything that's going on, we will end up with more gardeners after this, because I think growing your own food is such an amazing gift and skill to have. So if I can inspire you to grow food, because I believe in you. Anyway, if you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try to answer them. I may make another video if I get a bunch of questions. So anyway, happy planting. Ugh, I'm under a drip. Why did I decide to do this in the greenhouse? It's just wet in here.